You want to say hi? Yes. If you have been feeling like your relationships are not benefiting you and hindering your growth and it needs some adjustments, you can blame Venus retrograde in Pisces, but now it is going direct. And funny enough, we also have a full moon in Libra happening the same day, which Libra is ruled by Venus. So today we're going to discuss how toxic relationships can stunt your emotional, mental, and financial growth, putting yourself first, aggressive red flags, and what to do next. And hello gorgeous, it is Ethereal Mother, your favorite artist, psychic, and astrologer, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's get into Venus direct in Pisces and this full moon in Libra. So Venus is all about love and creativity. Pisces also has that vibe too, but it brings in this extra fantasy and dreamy aspect to this Venusian energy. And with the full moon in Libra, it is helping us to gain a bit more clarity around how we can have harmony and balance within our relationships. However, that change has to start internally first. For example, you would be shocked how toxic relationships, partnerships, friendships can affect your money, Venus, from flowing in, including creating blockages around your creativity and whatever you're trying to progress towards, including a lot of mental health issues as well. And then again, like I said, we have this full moon, which represents your inner emotional world. So if your inner world is experiencing a lot of chaos, the external world is going to see that as well. And it's very important to really understand how all of these things are super interconnected. And so the beauty of Libra is that it's an air sign, which can help you have a different perspective and really analyze, how is this connection benefiting me? Do I feel drained or energized after this interaction? Is this person or situation supporting me? Am I pouring too much into this relationship and not receiving the same energy in return? And then Venus is also linking up with Saturn. We got Rahu or North Node in Pisces. We got Mercury that just went direct. We got Neptune that just entered Aries as well. All of these energies are encouraging you to put yourself first, especially when all of these energies shift to Aries, except for the North Node. It's going to be here for a little minute.
I can't trust you. Your lies, your blind sides. You hurt me too many times, okay? I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucius.
I also find it interesting that Saturn in Pisces is the Eight of Cups in Tarot, which represents walking away from something that isn't serving you, abandonment, fear of change, stagnation, escapism, and letting go. And Saturn will not hesitate to create more blockages and challenges for you if you don't invite this change in as well. And again, like I said, when a lot of these planets move into Aries, it's going to put you in this place where you kind of gain a new perspective around what do I need and how can I get from these toxic connections to connections that will actually support my authentic self and my silly goofy ways. And all these planets, especially Saturn, is really encouraging you to leave behind these immature and negative toxic habits and take a leap of faith, Pisces, to see what else the world has to offer you. And 9 times out of 10, it's a lot more than you think. And the biggest thing is to learn from your previous mistakes so that you don't make them again either. And then if you are open to it, you can find people, or they will find you, that will build you up, energize you, encourage your creativity, and be your cheerleaders, including me. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So you definitely will have a lot of revelations within the Moonlight, again, like with this full moon in Libra, and it's going to help you pinpoint all of these different things that you did not notice the first time. And you could also potentially see someone showing their true colors. So this actually reminds me of the most recent season of The Ultimatum with Zaina and JR. Basically, they went through the experiment and they linked back up together and they were sitting down having this dinner. JR was like, I'm not ready to settle down until I'm like 40. I think you love me more than I love you, saying similar things to this. And Zaina's response was, oh, that just means that you don't know how you feel about me. And it's like, baby, that's not what he's saying at all. At all. So then fast forward, they get to the reunion and she's kind of like pointing fingers. You did this, you did this, you didn't do this, you did this. And yes, I truly believe that JR is trash. There's no doubt about that. However, you ignore the red flags. there was a big ass red flag that appeared before they got onto the show, where a woman sent some DMs that she received from JR and they were exchanging text messages and stuff like that. You ignored that. You ignored what he was saying to you multiple times. He was not ready, all these other things. Even after the experiment, she was like, hey, let's forget that. Let's get back together. We'll just start fresh. We'll just start fresh. And JR was like, no, I need time to process. Again, ignoring the reality of the situation. That is a huge issue with Piscean energy. Funny enough, she is a Pisces too. And so basically all that to say, with this full moon energy, we got the Venus in Pisces and the Saturn in Pisces as well. Venus representing relationships, Pisces the fantasy. Zaina was so fixated on this very specific fantasy that she had in her mind. She fell in love with this man's potential and just wanted her fantasy fulfilled. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're wasting your time on someone who cannot give you that fantasy, that's where the issue is. And with the Saturn and Pisces is up here in the clouds, and Saturn is gonna bring you back down and be like, hey bitch, you need to listen to what this person is saying. What he's saying is not in alignment with what you want. So for Zaina, she wasted 3 years, then she did the experiment, and then did another year after the experiment was over on a man who did not put forth the effort. And again, she tried to blame him for specific things, but again, with that Saturn energy, you have to take responsibility. You kept pursuing this man that did not want to be pursued. So a lot of the heartbreak, especially after that man left the experiment without her, everything that JR did to her after that moment was her karma. Now, if you don't want to waste your time like Zaina, no shade, therapy is and will always be a great place to start. But if it's not in the budget yet, here are some really great YouTubers that I recommend subscribing to, and 2 of them are licensed therapists. So we have Denise, the inner child whisperer. We have Steph Anya. Both of them, I love how they do commentary on shows like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight, and stuff like that from a therapist perspective. So you can actually understand what's going on. If you relate to specific things, it's like, maybe I need to look into this. Maybe this is something that I need to do more research on. Again, Saturn taking more responsibility. So Venus, I can have more balance in my relationships or just in life in general. And then 2 honorable mentions is Jessie Woo and Treat Me Better. Both of them are not therapists, but I think they give such incredible big sisterly type advice that I wish that I would have had in my early 20s, because I too was Zaina and wasted my time with individuals who did not support me in the way that I needed to be supported. I did not understand what I really needed in relationships and what that was supposed to look. I just didn't know. I really didn't. So I wish that I would have been introduced to all of these people that I just mentioned when I was younger. And so Venus and Libra does have a tendency to be a bit superficial, whether that be to kind of protect them from hurt, which is a possibility, or they just kind of like to keep things superficial. Both of these energies definitely rule over like luxurious, materialistic things. Nothing is wrong with these things, but if you are hyper fixated on those specific things rather than being vulnerable and going in depth and looking into what's necessary to have harmony and balance within your own life that could equate to growth and progress, then maybe that's something that you need to look into as well. Now, if you are looking for more meaningful connections, God, the universe, source, the creator, whatever you want to call them, they will test you to see if you have learned from the past, because again, you don't want to fumble the bag. So you want to make sure that you are learning from your past mistakes. And then again, Saturn will also enter the chat as well to make sure that you are taking responsibility, making better, wiser decisions. Like, are you going to ignore that red flag? Can you identify said red flags? And why are you willing to sacrifice your peace in order to not be alone? So there's a lot of different things there that could come up within your relationships, whether that be abandonment, you could be avoidant, you know, there's a long list of things, but that's a great place to start if you kind of are interested in healing and your own mental health and your own growth. And again, with this Piscean energy, it does represent rose-colored glasses, and if you put them bitches back on, you will be met with more unfulfilling connections, more unfulfilling situations, jobs, whatever. That's what you're going to be met with. So it really depends on you. You have full control over your own life, but you do have to make better, wiser decisions. And when Venus moves into Aries later this month, those red flags are going to be much more aggressive. And this makes me think about from the same season of The Ultimatum, Scotty and Arya. That man stressed her out so much that she had a miscarriage. I don't even know what more to say about that. So what to do next? Similar to what I said in my Mercury and Pisces video, listen to affirmations and subliminals to strengthen your subconscious mind. Again, with that Piscean energy, you want to make sure that you are not holding on to any self-sabotaging behaviors, especially when it comes down to harmony, balance, your relationships, your creative flow. Do more self-love activities like taking yourself on dates, buying yourself flowers, doing all these really nice things for you, so that way when you do start dating again, you have a specific standard for what you want. You won't be so willing to sacrifice or settle for less. And also Venus represents pets, so maybe you can get a pet too. You want to say hi? Yes. Also find a licensed therapist, especially if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Oh, and he is sick and tired of me holding him. And then also take this time to really analyze what needs to be changed or what you would like to change within your surroundings as well. And since we still have a few planets in Pisces and it representing the fantasy and creativity and manifestation as well, creating a vision board I think would be very beneficial to keep you focused on what you see for yourself. You can do a physical one, you can do one on a Pinterest board. Pinterest now offers you to make collages on Pinterest if you want, and then you can make like a new background image for your phone, which would be really cool, and kind of focus the imagery on whatever you want and need, but also authentic connections, what you need to support yourself, and what you need in relationships to support you as well, and how you can also show up as a better person in general too. So I love you, you are loved, you deserve love, and until next time, bye.